you started when I'm fiddling with my face. You're like, I'm almost done. I'm like, okay, I'll just like, whatever. And then I hear recording
in
starting.
progress. I know we can't seem to get in sync. It has been an odd morning. We've had
It
a
has been
couple
a
of
very odd morning.
delays, and I'm still trying to finish my row. And I don't know. You know how, viewers realize that we pre-record this the day before,
Yeah.
and then on the weekend we're going to do two because we're going to have a day off on Sundays where we don't record. So we do two. So we'll wear the same clothes for 2 days in a row. Whatever.
I wear the same clothes every day we film.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's consistency. And it's a woolen dress, so I can get away with it.
And it's convenient. And I'm cold. It's cold in here because I think I've mentioned before, we live in an old farmhouse and we don't have ERC there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have central heating. So we have a pellet stove on one end of the house that's been the addition, and then the other end of the house, the old part, which is here. But it's cold in this room, really cold.
Yeah.
So
good thing you like knitting.
Right.
Yeah. So I always film in this dress because it hides the rolls. And then it's consistent with I figure it's consistent with our interviews that we do after.
Yeah.
And because it's wool, then it stays how it is. So the other day I had the smart idea, well, I'll just leave it down here in my office so I can throw it on. And then I was getting ready one day upstairs and realized the first thing I had to do was record, and my dress was downstairs.
So you went streaking.
So I went streaking because no one else was really in the house. So it was freedom, a moment of freedom.
A moment of freedom. Woohoo! Okay, that's funny.
But the house is much colder when you're not wearing your wool dress.
Yes. I am on my, and we don't have, the floors are not insulated in the old section. So I'm wearing my handmade wool socks and my felted clog slippers.
Yeah, you get a nice buffer layer.
And I do have the pellet stove going, but it just takes a long time to, to get the house to a comfortable, like 67, 68 degrees.
Yeah.
When I got up this morning, the living room was like 59. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little chilly. Inside.
It's chilly. It's not deathly, but it's definitely chilly.
No, I remember though, one time we went on vacation and we were gone for a week, and we had our neighbor's house sitting, and they would just come in and like feed the cats, do the litter boxes, whatever. Cause we took the dog with us, and then they would do like the outside farm chores and take care of the kitties. Well, the newer section of the house, they have this like trapdoor thing where, in theory, you would open the little trapdoor in the living room and then the adjoining garage, and then you'd have like your wood pile. There was a fireplace.
Oh, right.
There isn't a fireplace now, but there was back then. So there's this trapdoor for the wood pile. Yeah. So you could just like prepare that ahead of time and then reach in and not have to go outside to build your fire in the morning.
That's genius.
However, it got left open while we were away.
Oh no.
Right. And so the cats, I don't think they went in the garage, or if they did, they came back in a hurry, but so it's not like they could escape to the great outdoors.
Right.
But the point is, it was cold. When we came home from that trip, it was like 42 degrees in the house because we had gone away in the winter.
That's a little cold.
Yeah, it was chilly for being inside. Yeah, it was pretty harsh.
Yeah. That's not fun. So, I think I've talked before about when we first moved back here from the Philippines. This house had been empty since like August or July or something like that. Like they had done some renovations and then it stood empty. And then we saw it in September and signed the contract, but we didn't move back till January.
Okay. So it was a couple months,
months. It was several months. So it was the whole beginning of winter, and it was the coldest winter that Connecticut had in like 73 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So we moved back from the tropics and our house took the furnace took 3 solid days of working to get to 70 degrees in the house.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like, I have no idea how much heating fuel costs anymore. What are we doing? So we're still like, I was like, okay, we got it heated to 70, but we're going back down to 60 until we know what this heating bill is going to be like. So then we were living at 60 for like a week,
Yeah.
2 weeks after that point, because we had them come fill up
And
the
you're
thing.
used to being in the tropics.
And
So
then
you're like,
it was so much cheaper than what we'd been paying for air conditioning in the tropics. So we were like, yeah, 72. We're fine. We're fine.
so it's day 4.
Oh yeah. Surprise everybody. It's day 4.
You're like, oh yeah, now I remember why we're here. Okay, I do have a quick question though.
Yes.
Revisiting the 749 challenge from yesterday, I do have a question. What do you win? I mean, it was a challenge. Do you actually
You just win
something?
praise and adoration. Everybody wins because everybody gets the thing that they actually wanted. But I now have bragging rights.
Did you actually want a pizza ornament?
Did you see how magnificent that thing was?
Yeah.
And now I have a story for the whole rest of my life. I'm going to tell grandchildren about that ornament.
Hopefully it will still be living, the ornament.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's glass. I don't know that it's really glass.
But you could pass it down, put it in bubble wrap
Oh
at the
yeah.
end of the season. That could become an heirloom pizza ornament.
That is absolutely an heirloom. I'm a little worried about it because if you rub it, you can get the seed beads to pop off.
Oh,
So
you
it
don't
might
want
get
that.
kind of sparse over time.
You could glue some back on.
That is true.
I mean, it could be repaired.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, most people have things they glued together at Santa workshops from kindergarten. You will have a pepperoni pizza ornament.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of those kind of like kid ornament kind of things.
No.
I don't have very many because we homeschooled and I'm a bad mom.
But didn't you have like the church? Well, I mean, my kids schooled at home too, but there was always like some kind of community center thing or church thing or preschool thing or whatever.
So they do have a couple of those kind of things,
I'm
but
a
it's
bad
not like when
mom.
I was a kid, the tree was covered with it. Like there were 4 of us in public school. So you had at least, the art class and the class party.
Oh yeah.
So there was at least 2. So that's 8 ornaments per child. Or per, 8 ornaments per year
per season.
Added to the tree.
Yeah.
As we moved through elementary school. So we had tons of those kind of things. I only probably have one or 2 for each of the kids that they've made.
So I will say though, that if you're wanting, and this is a shameless plug, I have a couple videos that I'll link down below in the video description for how you can make teeny weeny little sweater ornaments. It's the cutest thing.
Oh, I know you did those last year when you were working on them. Yeah, those were adorable.
Well, and the year before, because I make some, I mean, it's not a big pressure thing, but I make some just like to go with your boxes of baked things that I'll send to relatives out of state. Like we don't do a lot of shipping and a lot of high pressure Christmas stuff because we don't need anything.
Yeah.
And I would prefer to have like consumables because I just want to eat, cookies and holiday cookies. Right.
Well, and I'm in the middle of trying to Christmas shop right now. And
I haven't even started.
The kids are to the age now where they're like, we're just going to put things on an Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
And just buy us those things. And that's how my husband is. And you can just put a link in. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be an Amazon thing. You can put a link for another website or whatever. So
yeah,
I've been trying to look for things still that are things that I know they would like that aren't on there. So I did do some shopping this morning.
Well, and now there's a college situation. Now will she live on campus or no?
We haven't figured it out yet. Okay. She is unsure whether she wants to live on campus or
how that's going to be
an apartment and have a roommate.
Yeah.
So, and there's perks to both.
Oh yeah.
I think she's leaning towards an apartment with a roommate, but, so cause that would be a no brainer. Oh my gosh. I'd get her plates and sheets and whatever. Absolutely. But it's not worked out yet. So
And see,
anyway.
the state university where my kids are going, they require that freshmen live on campus. They require that.
Yeah, and Pratt doesn't.
Yeah. In the residence halls. And I don't know, it's a good transition from being at home all the time to being out in the big world. Like, cause you have the residence hall and then on campus here where they're going to go, because it's Laramie, Wyoming, and 7,000 feet, it's brutal in the winter and it's windy. So there's actually an underground tunnel that goes from the residence hall to the dining hall. So they can like schlep over there in their jammies and their slippers. So it's a nice transition though, from being home all the time to being out in the big world, because they still have somebody cook for them, and you know, they don't have to like worry about utilities and all the grown-up things. They're not ready to be adulting just yet.
I totally agree. And that would be my first choice, but there's some other considerations.
Factors. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
should we open?
Oh yeah. I'm just knitting along because I'm behind. So I'm knitting.
Show us how far you are though. I'm going to have my cold caffeine. You go ahead and show us.
Okay, you do that because I have, let's see, 5 stitches till the end of my row. So that's pretty good timing.
I'll have another sip. I'll buy some time for you.
Must knit faster. You see, that's one of my hashtags. Must knit faster.
Must knit faster.
Okay. Yay. All right. So from day 3 yesterday, you saw my mini skein from McMullen Fiber.
Yeah.
And it's blending really well.
Oh, that's a really nice transition from the one to the other. You can
see where it started because I haven't, trimmed anything yet. So that's where it started. Yeah. So I'm not that far, but isn't that nice?
That is a very nice.
Yeah. I still have, I have this little bowl. That's what I put my mini in. So it doesn't roll around because I have cats.
So would you say you're about halfway?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's but it'll be the weekend. So hopefully.
Yeah. So hopefully, for our Tuesday video, you'll be caught up. Nice, Jana.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'll get caught up because I really want to do this and the daughter that it might be for college, she's digging it. She's digging it so far. So
awesome.
Hooray. So
love it.
Yes.
And I have nothing to show because
that's okay.
I'm not doing it this year.
But I had a lot of kids stuff last night. There was things to do and places to go. And my knitting time yesterday afternoon just disappeared. And sometimes that happens.
Sometimes that happens.
It's okay.
I'm going to open. Should we open?
Yes.
I want to open.
Do it.
I have a new maker today and I think I know who it is, but I'm not 100% sure I remember who it is.
Okay.
So we're on day 4.
Yep. I need new glasses. I keep doing that. Like, people don't need to look up my nose on Zoom. I need new glasses. The progressives are failing. It happens when you get older.
Making Foley noises. Oh, it's Uradale Yarns today.
Yay!
They're one of my favorite makers. And later, in like 4 or 5 days, we're going to have an interview with Ronnie of Uradale Farms.
That was fun to meet him.
He's very cool. So this is their double knitting. So it's twice the size of the jumper weight.
Yep.
And it's one of my favorite shades. It's their Speedwell Heath. So they do a really cool thing with their yarn where they have the natural white and then they have other natural blends and they dye onto all of those bases. So
because they're natural sheep colors.
Yeah, you can see the natural heath. You get like the different shades of blue as a result.
Yeah.
I really love Uradale.
Because if you put, a blue dye on a white wool, that's one thing. But if you put blue dye on a gray wool, that's going to have a different depth or a
lovely depth.
Or even a lighter.
Speedwell, just the plain Speedwell is much brighter, much brighter than this. Yes. The blend they dye it on really brings the color, gives it a lot of depth to it.
That's neat that they do that.
Yeah.
Our interview with him was great. So watch for our interview with Ronnie Unson.
Coming up.
3 or 4 days from now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
So watch for that. Cool.
Okay. What do you have?
Day 4, Hawari Bazaar from Detroit, Michigan. So we have our little car with the yarn. That's cute.
I love that it's hauling a yarn ball instead of a Christmas tree. That's adorable.
It is adorable. Okay, day 4. Here we go. Sorry about the crinkle noises from the bag. Ooh, that's going to go perfectly.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
That is, wow, that's gonna be some smooth transitions.
Yes, Hawari Bazaar, and this is, what does it say? Guardian of Detroit. This is their 75-25 merino nylon sock yarn, 92 yards. That's
Nice.
gonna be some smooth.
That's gonna
Look,
be a very smooth transition. Yeah, look at that. That's gonna be
wow.
awesome.
Wow. Must knit
You had a
faster.
good plan for your yarn, Jana. This
And
is
I think that
everything's coming up,
this,
Jana.
yeah, I think this ties in pretty well to the beginning, to the
Right.
very,
There you go.
because
Yeah.
that does seem a little stark in the beginning, but I think it'll be fine.
Sort of referencing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooray. Must knit
Beautiful.
faster. We'll see if I can get caught up over the weekend.
Good call. Good
Cool.
call. So
Stay
I guess
tuned for
that's
that.
day 4. Day 4, right?
Day 4 in the books.
Okay, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.